So whatever happened with that FlyXii bike? Well, you may recall I had some issues with the company. Just a quick rehash. When they sent the bike, it had some chips on it, among other things. They did not send the cable stop for the rear. It's got a cable stop in there now, more about that in a minute. And they promised to send a headset, but they never sent the headset. So these two problems, the chip and the headset, I noticed immediately, and I pinged them about it. They gave me a healthy discount on the frame, and we called it resolved. Later on, I discovered that this was missing, and because we had already had a dispute resolution on the site refused to open a second dispute resolution. And what FlyXii did was they ran out the clock. Can you send me a picture? Couldn't make out the picture. Can you send another one? And ultimately, when I asked for an extension, and it looked like they weren't going to run out of time, they completely fabricated a story. He said, okay, I shipped it. He even sent me a tracking number and a bogus invoice. I contacted the shipping company, and they said the tracking number you gave us couldn't possibly have come from us. It's out of range. So, and then there were only a few days less, of course, so by the time I figured this all out, the review period had expired and we were all locked in. So, very untrustworthy company. And also, their behavior throughout the process was consistent with, they knew they shipped me a bad bike. Because they were doing everything they could to run out the clock, because they knew they were on the hook for shipping a bad bike. So be aware of that. So what did I do? Well, you know, there's a number of things that I could have done as a workaround. I could have done an exterior route with a cable. And in fact, I tried that. I elected not to go that way. It doesn't look good, but it may not surprise you to know, based on my other videos, that I'm relatively unconcerned about how my bike looks. Ultimately, what I did was decide to go with a 1x configuration. I took the cable stop from the other side off the bike. Right? Don't need a shift cable here, so I took this cable stop off. And by the way, I said the external cable route didn't look too good. I don't know that looks that great either, okay? But what it is what it is. I actually left the internal housing in there, so if I ever decide to route something there, it'll be easier to do. But anyhow, I took this cable stop out. That cable stop was there, but of course it doesn't fit the hole in the back, because the hole in the back is out of spec. That's the problem. That's why they can't ship this cable stop. No cable stop they have is going to fit in there. But I did some, I just sat by hand with some sandpaper and a rat tail file and worked on this thing until it fits in there. And this is the best fitting cable stop on the whole bike. So if they would have just sent me another cable stop, I would have been a satisfied customer. I would have said thanks for working with me. So that's the bike I have right now. So what do I recommend? Well, I recommend you don't buy from this company. Don't buy from them. They knew this bike was bad, and they shipped it to me. Okay? They knew it. They've got other bikes. Their other bikes like this are bad. Don't buy from them. I have since talked to 3 other people that have bought either this frame or a similar frame that the company sells with the disc brakes, and they all said they had the same problem. Actually, I think I might have been lucky on this bike, because they said, hey, my fork was screwed up too. Is your fork screwed up? And either I don't know enough about forks to recognize the problem, or it wasn't screwed up. I think it wasn't screwed up. But yeah, so this is common from those guys. Okay, and so here's what I would do. If you have a bike on the way, or if you still want to roll the dice with these guys, you could probably get a pretty good deal. And here's why. if you buy a bike from them and they ship it to you, they know it's bad, okay? They know they're shipping you a crap product. So when you get the bike, before you even open the box, just go to the website and give them a 1. And you don't even have to leave a description at that point. You can just say, hey, this is a 1-star rating. Product wasn't as advertised. And guess what? They're going to believe you because they know they shipped a crap product, right? They're going to be inclined, they're going to say, oh, this guy, he's no dummy. He figured it out right away. They're going to believe the bike is bad because they know it's bad. Okay, so you say, hey, start the negotiation, okay? Let's say you know you want a 1-buy and you think this is a way to get a really cheap frame. You're probably right. Buy the bike. Give them a 1-star. When they get in contact with you, make them offer you a discount. Okay, if it's less than 30%, start to negotiate back to 30%. All the while knowing you don't really need this part. Tell them the seat post is out of spec. That happens a lot with their bikes. They'll believe it. Tell them the fork's bad. That happens a lot with their bikes. They'll believe it. Okay? Whatever you can get to stick it to them. They deserve it. They deserve it. Anyhow, I may go through this bike a little bit more. There's some good components on this bike, and I kind of like the setup, but it does have some improvements that need to be made. But anyhow, that's what happened with the FlyXii bike. Could have been worse, but definitely could be a lot better too. So, thanks for listening.